Shalom everybody, welcome back to this channel, Deception from the Beginning. The purpose of this channel is to bring to light what has been done in the dark, and that is Satan deceived the whole world, and he did it from the beginning. But Satan is a spirit, and he need man to do his dirty work. So man took the deception baton from Satan and ran with it and has been running ever since. But today's video is about the topic is that take comfort in knowing that our Ahaya Asha Ahaya, the I am that I am, the creator, is always righteous. So the topic is take comfort in knowing that Ahaya Asha Ahaya, the I am that I am, is always righteous. Okay. Before I begin, I would like to just give the Father all praises, all glory, all honor, all esteem, all thanks, and all blessings. All right. He is almighty and excellent. He is an excellent, omnipotent, everlasting, sovereign creator who is one, most magnificent creator who is and was and will forever be. Most magnificent creator who was, is, and will forever be. Okay, ever be all wisdom, all knowledge, all understanding, all righteous, all truth, who is all remembrance. Okay, whom there is nothing hid from. All right, most excellent sovereign creator who can neither be created or destroyed. He just is, was, okay, and will forever be. He's from everlasting to everlasting, and he rules over creation, okay, according to his will. Let the highest praises be given to the Most High Yah forever and ever. Thank you, Father, for your grace and mercy that you have poured out upon this whole entire world. So like I said before, the topic is take comfort in knowing that Ahaya Asha Ahaya, the I am that I am, is always righteous. Okay, so this most excellent and magnificent creator does what he wills, right? And who is man to think that he can say or tell the Father or just think that, oh, it will be better if it was this way, or if it will be better if it was that way. Okay, people like to put themselves higher than they actually are, okay, and where they actually belong. It's kind of like Satan in the kingdom trying to exalt his throne above Yah's stars, right? But that's like the same thing that people do here on earth. All right, what Satan wanted, he wanted the power and control, and that's what the people want down here. They want power and control, okay, to rule in the little part of the world in which they reside. But so people don't understand that no matter what our human peanut brain think, reason, or contemplate, the Father is all righteous. And this righteous is not in our dictionary, vocabulary, or flesh understanding. So no matter what a person think about Yah, or who they think Yah is, or what they think about what is happening in the world, for example, they might say, where is Yah and what is he doing about all this bad stuff that's going on in the world today? They might think, how can a creator allow all this chaos and wickedness to happen? But guess what? No matter what a person think, feel, or say, it don't matter, because this creator is sovereign, okay, and omnipotent and omnipresent, okay, and is all righteous. This kind of righteous didn't begin here when he created this earth, okay? This righteous is who he is, and who he was, and who he will forever ever be, okay? And we don't define this type of righteous, okay? It is a type of righteous that is so perfect that we can't even understand it. The only way a person can even like believe, trust, respect, fear, and be comforted in the righteousness of this magnificent and omniscient creator is if there is something inside of them that lets them know and accept and hold on to that same truth that the creator is all righteous. Okay, I'm gonna say it a million times. Yah is all righteous. He's all righteous. And when you settle that within yourself, in your spirit, then you are comforted. Okay, and no matter what is going on the outside, you are comforted. So So there has to be something inside of you that lets you grip the fact that Yahuwah is our righteous, no matter what chaos, storm, or wickedness or disaster is going on outside. It's the truth that you know on the inside that will comfort you, okay? That Yah is righteous. So when people say stuff like, if there is a creator, then why is all this happening? Okay, so the type of people who like to say this kind of stuff is the ones who don't even try to get to know that God that they're asking about. Okay, you want to know why all this is happening? Then go search it out for yourself. Okay, go search it out. But know that they won't. Why they won't do that? Because they don't want to have anything to do with that God, a creator who is above them, because their deeds will be found out, and the part they play in all this chaos will be brought to their faces. So our mighty and all-powerful creator is all righteous, and for all those that belong to him in this evil and dark day, I encourage you to hold on to that in your spirit, and don't let anything on the outside sway you otherwise. Okay, so our mighty and excellent and all-knowing creator is all righteous. Okay, he is an all righteous judge. When he judged Adam and Eve, he was righteous. Okay, and you want to know what else he is? He's all righteous, and he's also merciful and long-suffering, because he could have ended their flesh, but he did not. Okay, he has his will and his purpose to fulfill. We don't know those two spirits that came down here. We don't know them, but the Father knew them before the world was. Okay, so he knows all of us before the world was. And also, when he judged Cain, he judged him righteously. And he was righteous, and he was also merciful at the same time. He could have just taken Cain's breath right there, but he didn't, because you know what? Our ways are not his ways. Okay, his ways are not our ways. Our ways are not his ways. He's all omnipotent. When every imagination of the thoughts of men's heart was only evil and wicked continually, and they were selling their daughters off to the sons of Yah, and that was in the days of Noah, and they were selling their daughters off to the sons of Yah to be used as tools of pleasure, and that iniquity reached up to the heavens. Okay, and Yah wiped all of them off the face of the earth. Guess what? He judged righteously. Who can think to have the audacity to say to the one who holds all power and knows it all and is perfect and all righteous, oh, that's not fair? I mean, like, how dare anybody even think to exalt themselves to even say that to an omnipotent and all-knowing, all-righteous, all-merciful creator? Okay, people don't know anything, but yet still they want to exalt themselves and act like they know more than the one who holds all power. Okay, the one who holds all power and all control. The Father has his will, and just because people don't understand that, this all-knowing creator knew every single one of us from before he even created the earth. Okay, he knows what spirits we are from before he put us here. Okay, so when Yah rained down fire and brimstone on Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities, and all those people died, men, women, children, all of them died, guess what? You guessed it, Yah judged righteously. He is perfect and can never ever do anything unrighteous. He knew every single one of us. Like I said before, he knew every single one of us and all of our thoughts, okay, from before we was even formed. Okay, it was so in those times, in those days of Noah, it was so wicked and evil. Okay, it was so wicked and evil that the sins of the people reached up to the heavens, and so Yah did what he had to do. He judged them. And that's that. Okay, He is the only righteous judge. So man can sit in a corner because he don't know nothing. Yah is perfect and just and upright, and is from everlasting to everlasting, and already he has his will, okay? And it is already written, and he rules over creation with his spirit, word, and power, okay? And none can stay his mighty hand, okay? So we better respect that power, because that same power that created everything is that same power that's destroying everything, okay? It is the same power that is bringing his righteous judgment upon this evil, wicked world. All praises to you, Abba Yah. Yah has his will and purpose. And who is man to speak or comment on whether or not Yah's judgments are righteous? All right? People need to just sit down and shut up. Because this almighty creator, what we need to do, we need to be quiet, and we need to work out our own salvation with fear and trembling, okay? Because this almighty, okay, is all righteous and does whatever he wants with his creation, okay? It's his creation, not yours, not mine, but his, okay? That's it, his creation. So this creator is so merciful and patient and long-suffering. So you want to know what? Because he's so merciful, patient, and long-suffering, when he judges, guess what? No one will have an excuse. And the problem is that people think they know something when they don't know anything. All right? When Ahiah judged Egypt, guess what? He was still all righteous. Even though he is the one who hardened Pharaoh's heart, so Pharaoh would not let the people go. Okay? He is still all righteous. Yah has his will, okay? He has his purpose, okay? He has his plan. Plus, he knew Pharaoh and all those people from before they were even in their mother's womb. So with all that happened in Egypt, Yah showed his great mighty power, and his people still came out of Egypt. With all that he showed, they still came out of Egypt and acted a fool in the wilderness. Yah is so long-suffering and merciful, and this is why when he executes judgment, no one can have an excuse. Yah's judgments are righteous and perfect. Anytime he executed judgment on the children of Israel, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, anytime he executed judgment on them in the wilderness, he was righteous in doing so. All right, we have to always remember, he knows every single one of us. He knows our thoughts, and he knows our hearts. So when the one whose breath we are all living off of told Moses that he couldn't enter into the promised land, guess what? That was righteous, okay? That was righteous. Ahiah is all righteous. It might not seem fair or right to a person who's reading it, but Yah knows what he has invested, what he had invested in each and every, what he has invested in each and every single last one of us. And for what he had invested in Moses, Moses stepped out of line, okay? Yah is always righteous, all right? His ways are not our ways, okay? We are spirit and flesh, but Yah is spirit. He's a master spirit, all right? So I know that those people that Moses was dealing with, I know that it was really difficult, you know, dealing with his brethren, you know, his cousins and all of them, you know. I know that it was difficult, but guess what? Yah is still righteous no matter what. Yah's judgments are righteous. So I don't know the full story, and I don't know the thoughts of Moses' heart, but I do know that the Almighty Ahiah Asher Ahiah is righteous in every single thing that he does. He is righteous. He is perfect. Okay? All praises to you, Abba. When Yah was taking the people into the promised land, and they had to go to war and kill all those people, sometimes it was everyone, right? Sometimes they had to kill everyone, and then sometimes it was not. But whatever Yah's order was, it was all righteous. And you see what ended up happening, because the children of Israel, they didn't always execute or carry out the judgment the way that the Father told them, right? And these people who remained in the land, they became a snare and thorns in the children of Israel's side. Okay, like Yah had told them, if you leave them, they're going to become a snare to you. They're going to become thorns in your side. That was something that Yah had already told them that would happen. Okay, Yah's judgments on those people, though, who occupied the promised land was 100% righteous. All right, let's go to Genesis chapter 15, verse 15. Okay, I'm going to show you how Yah's judgment was righteous. Listen to this. It says, and I'm going to explain it a little bit after. It says, and you shall go to your father, Genesis chapter 15, verse 15. And you shall go to your fathers in peace. You shall be buried in a good old age. 16. But in the fourth generation, they shall come here again, for the iniquity of the Amorite is not yet full. Right? All right. So this, the Amorite, these are Canaanites. He was saying the people that was occupying the lands that he was going to give. Let me just read from what I wrote. So Yah was talking to Abraham in these verses concerning the land. He was going to give his seed after him. So he's going to give not Abraham himself, but his seed after him. He was letting Abraham know that he himself was not going to take possession of that land, but his generation would. And the reason he could not get the land at that point, the reason why Abraham could not get that land at that point in time, is because the iniquity of the inhabitants was not yet full. It was not yet it did not yet reach up to the heavens. When the iniquity of a land reaches up to the heavens, then Yah does judgments. Okay, so that's why when the iniquity had reached with Sodom and Gomorrah, when their iniquity had reached up to the heavens, that's why Yah had judged that city and also the surrounding cities. Okay, so it's the same thing here. Abraham couldn't take the land Abraham couldn't get the land at that time because their iniquity was not yet full. Okay, the wickedness in the land, the wickedness of the people had not reached up to the heavens yet. So when the time came, though, Ahijah had told Abraham his seed, the children, did go into the land, okay, and executed judgments on the people because their iniquity was full. Okay, so Yah is always righteous. All his judgments that he declares are always righteous. Get that in your spirit, people. Yah is always righteous. And when he instructs us to execute judgments and we disobey, or we do it half step, all right, we bring trouble on ourselves. And we can also see this. We can see this with the children of Yasharel. These inhabitants that they didn't utterly drive out became a snare unto them. Now let's go to verse 18. Same chapter, Genesis chapter 15, verse 18. It says, in the same day Yahuwah cut a covenant with Abram, saying, unto your seed have I given this land, from the river of Mitzrayim unto the great river Euphrates. So now, if we go through and we read all the other books after the first 5 books, we can see how many times the children of Israel went into sin and idolatry, and Yah would judge them. They would cry out to him, and he would send them a deliverer, and they'll be good for a little bit, and then after a little while they would fall back into idolatry. Yah would then again send them a deliverer, right? They even had judges. He would send them a deliverer, okay, but they kept falling back into idolatry. They'll be good for a little bit, fall back into idolatry, and then this kept happening over and over and over again. I can't even count the amount of times it happened. Okay, I can't even. I thought I might just try to count, but it's just way too many. But finally they rejected Yah, and what did they do? They desired to have a flesh ruler, king, like the other nations round about them. Okay, so they rejected Yah, they desired a flesh ruler. They got Saul, and then after Saul, David. But you know what? Sometimes they're even not David, okay, but sometimes even the king, the king that they had over them would lead them into idolatry. Like, for example, what was his name? King Ahab led them into great idolatry. It's not just Ahab, it was a bunch of other kings. When you go and you read it, you can see, and this king did right in the eyes of in the sight of Yah, and then this king did evil in the sight of Yah, and it was more evil than it was righteous. Okay. So, and the thing is that Yah is so merciful. He is so merciful. All right, these people, they kept being conquered. They kept being conquered over and over again. Never learn. It was just a cycle. Just keep going. Finally, Yah sends them Yahusha. Yah sends Yahusha HaMashiach, and many did not receive him. Okay, many did not receive him. They turned and went to the point, they turned him over to the Romans to be killed. But you know what? Yah just used their wicked evil hearts to execute his plan of salvation. Okay, his plan to redeem his lost sheep. All right, and Yah can use anybody. Yah can use anyone to fulfill what? To fulfill his will. He rules over creation. Okay, so now if we fast forward to this last captivity, scattered to the four corners of the earth, all right, and that's the great horror that Abraham had seen in the vision. Scattered to the four corners, all right, parts of Africa, Asia, Europe, North America, South America, Central America, and the islands of the islands of the sea, all over the world. Hard bondage. Okay, and guess what? As bad as it may seem, as bad as all that may seem, Yah is still righteous in his judgments. Yah is righteous. Yah is all righteous. Okay, he has his plan to execute. He has been so patient and merciful and long-suffering. He knows all of us. Everyone wants to benefit from the blessings, but what about the curses? What about the consequences of our actions? What about not obeying the Almighty Creator? He knows all of us. He is all perfect and excellent and wonderful, full of grace and mercy and truth. He is all truth. Okay, this is his creation. And he rules over it, and he is a righteous ruler. He is a righteous judge. Everything about Yah is righteous. All right, he knew all of us from before we was formed in our mother's wombs. So know that we have a mighty one who sees it all, knows it all, hears it all, and guess what? There is absolutely nothing hid. Okay, there's nothing hid from him. So he can only be all righteous all the time. He is from everlasting to everlasting, always been from everlasting to everlasting, and always will be. All right, so this earth and our existence is bigger than this earth. Okay, we are spirits, all right, covered in a flesh body. When we die, our body goes back to the dirt, our spirit goes to sleep, and guess what? The breath that the one who holds all truth gave us, that breath, it's gonna go back to that same one who holds all truth. Okay, and that truth that he holds, he blew it into us. Okay, so when he judges us, it's all righteous. Yes, it is. So when this all-powerful and all-righteous creator judges us, when he executes judgment, no matter which way it goes, he is, you guessed it, all righteous. All right, no one will have an excuse. Just because we don't know, just because a person didn't know the full story or the mystery, doesn't mean anything. All we need to focus on is that this almighty, okay, omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient creator, Ahaya Asha Ahaya, the I am that I am, is all righteous and perfect from everlasting to everlasting. Shalom.